Kremlin-Linked group arranged payments to European politicians to support Russia's annexation of Crimea.
Here's a summary of the article.
Russia can still rely on the occasional friendly voice in Europe. Last November, for example, far-right Italian local legislator Stefano Valdegamberi penned an op-ed decrying the EU's decision to designate Russia a terrorist state as a serious mistake that foments conflict by denying historical truth. Since at least 2014, that group had designed plans to channel cash to European politicians to help it legitimize Russia's occupation of Crimea and promote pro-Moscow policies inside EU countries. The lobbying group also flew several European political figures to Russia to act as official election observers. Previous media reports have shown links between EU politicians and Kremlin propagandists, but this is the first comprehensive insight into how this campaign was run from Russia. Some of the links between Russia and European politicians exposed in the emails have also been previously reported. The International Agency for Current Policy was on the brink of its first significant European success. A local council in Veneto, Italy, was preparing a motion recognizing the results of rigged Russian referendums in Crimea and calling for the end of EU sanctions against Russia. The latter pair's organization Business Russia played a key role, alongside the International Agency for Current Policy, in pushing for Europe to accept Russia's occupation of Crimea.
This post received a score of 8,200, with an upvote ratio of 97%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Shouldn't the politicians who accepted money from Russia be named? Whatever their nationality, it should be made public.
Most definitely, if this information is available.
And I'm sure there are many other such instances that will never be uncovered. People severely underestimated Russia's undercover reach, because Russia successfully redirected everyone's attention to America, placing the blame on them for everything everywhere.
Putin's greatest weapons are the politicians he owns, influences in almost every country. He has had 20 years to build the networks. It's up to us citizens to identify and decide if we want to support them. But Russia has played its hand. Support for those politicians will result in a Russian victory in Ukraine. Vote wisely.
I don't like acting like a conspirationist, but a lot of Republicans are very businesslike when it comes to foreign relations and seek their personal interest. Trump was only open to help Ukraine if they gave him intel on his political opponent, for instance. People like Gates, Bobert and MTG, who push for stopping aid to Ukraine, would have no reason to act like this other than some form of income or gain from the Kremlin. It's scary how effective they are at buying politicians in the West.
Kevin McCarthy believed Trump was on Putin's payroll? Swear to God? I guess McCarthy wasn't on the payroll. Back then at least. But Ryan shushing the whole thing instead of showing concern indicates he knows far more about it and doesn't want anyone talking about it even in private.
A lot of Republicans are in Russia's pocket.
Pete Sessions comes to mind.
Cough Salvini cough cough.
Le Pen, Orban, Thierry Baudet, Nigel Farage, etc. etc.
Yes. As an Italian I am specially ashamed of our local Quisling, but the list is long.
Color me completely unsurprised. Any the voters will vote the vast majority of them back in.
Haha, people like Thierry Baudet in the Netherlands, it's too fucking obvious. I wonder if the Russians are buying his books.
He is not even trying to be convincing. Just begging for the next paycheck.
I'd bet some American politicians as well. I wish proof would be uncovered.
What, like a bunch of US senators being summoned to Moscow on the 4th of July, USA's Independence Day?
Wait until you hear about the ones linked to China. Or at least you would if the Canadian government would release their names.
He put former KGB officer Evgeny Lebedev in the House of Lords. Possible Russian interference over Brexit and other elections, after a report was conducted by Intelligence and Security Committee of Parliament which found the British government and intelligence agencies failed to conduct any proper assessment of Kremlin attempts to interfere with the 2016 Brexit referendum. Claims the government had, actively, sought not to delve deeper into the perceived threat of Russian interference. It said the government had not seen or sought evidence of successful interference in UK democratic processes at the time, and it made clear that no serious effort was made to do so.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.